It'd be so much easier if I could just say, hey, be there if you need to be there, and when you're there, pay attention and listen to your team. But obviously, I need to break that down and unpack that a little bit more. Hey everyone, Shelisa here, your leadership coach. Today I'm going to talk about meetings and as a leader, what you should and should not do when you're in them. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the place where you will receive the coaching that you need to become a strong, influential, engaging leader. I know that if you're a people leader, that you want to show up for your people in a way that makes them feel excited to be at work. They feel like they can trust you as a leader, they can trust each other as a team, and that they are really contributing meaningfully to the team and to the organization. One thing that you can do to help right off the bat is take a look at how you're showing up in meetings. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and as I ask the questions, I want you to sit back and just think through how you feel you show up with each question that I ask. When you're sitting in a meeting, and let's pretend in this scenario you're the senior most individual, so everyone else either reports to you or they rank lower than you in the hierarchy. When you're in that room, do you listen more than you speak? So when you are speaking in meetings, are you speaking in order to ask a question, or do you find yourself speaking in order to state your thoughts? And when you are asking questions, are you asking in order to understand because there's a gap in your understanding, or are you asking in order to respond? Those are two very different things. Also, when you're in these meetings, do you find that you are positioning yourself in the meeting so that your presence is known, or are you taking a bit of a back seat and showing up with humility? Now, when you are stating an opinion in this meeting, do you get comfortable when someone asks why and wants to understand a little bit more about your perspective? It may come across as challenging your ideas. How do you feel about that? And lastly, when you're in this meeting, are you holding a phone? Are you checking your phone? Is your focus really on the team and what is being discussed, or is your attention split in other ways? So my number one piece of advice is that before you even show up in this meeting, the minute you get this meeting request, you should really be clear about why your team feels they need you there. If it makes sense to you that yes, you should actually attend this meeting, here's how I want you to show up. Number one, do not have your device on you. Do not look at your phone, do not look at any other device. Make sure that your team has your undivided attention. By doing this, you are showing respect and consideration to your team. Number two, try to make sure that you are listening far more than you're speaking. So put a metric in your mind around 80-20 or even 90-10. So listen 80 or 90% of the time, speak the balance, and when you are speaking, make sure that you're filling that up with questions so that you can clearly understand the content that they are sharing with you. Number three, when you are speaking and you're asking questions, try to avoid long words. Keep your language very simple, very relatable. Speak slowly, speak clearly. Number four, if the group starts to get a little off topic, pull them back. However, the way that I'd like you to do this is by asking a question and not by saying, hey, that doesn't relate to anything, we're wasting time here, let's get back to the original topic. Avoid that language altogether. Instead, try asking the group, hey, is there a connection between what we're talking about now and what we started talking about? I don't see the connection, so can you guys let me know why we're talking about this? What am I missing? Positioning it that way really translates as you are really there to learn and understand. You are not there to direct and manage. Number five, once you get to the point of the meeting where people are starting to either talk about ideas or next steps, inevitably at some point, all eyeballs might turn to you. Here's what I recommend at that point. Before you share any of your ideas, I would like you to turn it back onto everyone else in the group and say, what do you guys think? Once they start to share their ideas, if it is different from what you probably had in your own mind, again, continue with the line of questioning and say, tell me more about that. At this point, as a leader, you're going to have to do a little bit of calibrating in your own mind. You're going to have to figure out whether or not what their next steps are, what their ideas are. Is it going to really lead them down a dark path? Or is this something that would be safe enough for them to explore? If it's the latter, then what I recommend you saying is, you know what, you guys, go try it. That sounds like it could be something. Go try it out. If it's the former and you feel like where they might want to go is not directionally safe, then probably share your idea and say, okay, how about if we do this? Always frame it in the form of a question and get their opinion on it. Now, again, as a leader, what I would like for you to do is also scope around the room as you're having the conversation. If there's someone or two or three people who are much more vocal than others, it's really a good idea for you as the leader to pull out and draw out those other individuals who might be a little bit more quiet. By doing that, you're going to ensure that there is clear consensus across the team on next steps. And I strongly recommend that you cap the meeting off with a statement like, thank you for inviting me to this meeting, this was good. Now, at the end of the day, showing up like this in meetings is incredibly important. It helps to make your team feel valued, it helps to make your team feel heard, and those are the kinds of things that make a team feel comfortable sharing their opinions, getting very creative and collaborating, and it builds a lot of trust. So this small step around showing up in a specific way in meetings can reap tremendous benefits from a cultural perspective. Thank you for watching my video today. Feel free to comment below. And remember, as your coach, I am here for you. I believe in you. Go show them what you're made of. And as a leader, how you should show up in them when you go, if you're invited. Doing this to your team, that sounds terrible. Definitely make your team from you, which is very important for engagement. And that's it. I appreciate the free food. And remember, as your coach, I believe in you. Oh no, oh no.